From Robin Williams channeling his Joker energy for a villainous role, to Bradley Cooper playing one of the suggest characters in SVU history. Here are a few of the big stars you forgot starred in Law & Order. I'm sure you know Zoe Saldana is a name we all recognize, mainly for her roles in massive sci-fi franchises like Star Trek, Avatar, and Guardians of the Galaxy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But before all that, she was a hard-working actor who paid her dues by taking small roles in TV shows and movies. In fact, she appeared twice in the Law & Order universe, and I'll focus on her second appearance. In the 2004 episode of SVU titled Criminal, Saldana played the protective daughter of a criminology professor with a criminal past. The episode addressed the issue of police bias and how it affects investigation. One of the main cast members was Captain Kragan, who was played by Don Florek. In the episode, he was so blinded by his hatred of the former criminal that he ignored the evidence right in front of him. Despite her limited scenes, Saldana's performance was outstanding. She conveyed her character's justified distrust of law enforcement through her facial expressions and words. We also saw how difficult it was for her to turn to the authorities for help when her father went off the rails after being wrongfully convicted of murder. It was a minor role that she brought to life with real power. Talking about minor roles for big stars. Did you know Sarah Paulson was on the show too? Sarah Paulson, the acting icon we all know and love, got her start on Law & Order. Family Values was her first on-screen acting credit, where she played a 17-year-old girl suspected of killing her mother. She showcased her incredible talent, which she honed over decades of hard work. In 2010, she returned to the Law & Order franchise in the SVU episode Shadow from season 11. This time, she played a woman who actually did murder her parents to ensure she wasn't cut out of the will. In this role, Paulson was able to let loose and chew the scenery. She portrayed the character's wrath boiling below the surface, and there was a campy glimmer in her eye that made the performance entertaining to watch. Even though the rest of the episode wasn't great, Paulson's portrayal of the character was a standout. She made it easy to believe that her character had committed the heinous crime, and it was fascinating to see her barely disguise that fact before exploding in anger. That's what good acting is all about, and these actors have really embraced the roles they took on.
He said that he loved me.
Even though I adore the star, I personally hated Bradley Cooper's character. The season 6 episode of SVU called Night boasts a cast of 4 famous faces, with Bradley Cooper being the most well-known today. The story revolves around Stabler and Benson investigating a series of unsolved Along the way, they encounter a woman fighting for undocumented women. She's played by Rita Moreno, who starred as Anita in the original West Side Story movie. As they follow a lead, they find a despicable attorney played by Cooper. He's smug, and his arrogance in using the law to excuse his scumbag behavior will make you hate him instantly. To make matters worse, his client, is played by Alfred Molina, who's best known for his role as Dr. Otto Octavius.
Why don't you explain it to us or we'll bring you in?
But perhaps the most unexpected guest star is none other than Angela Lansbury. Instead of playing a detective solving a murder, as she famously did in Murder, She Wrote, she plays a cold, cruel woman trying to protect her son from facing charges. The episode is dark and violent, and the star-studded cast brings their A-game to deliver a gripping and unforgettable performance.
He got himself conked on a noggin. He was knifed with a jagged-edged blade. Except the wounds.
Another unforgettable performance was from an actor expected to appear somewhere else. For Batman fans who wanted to see Robin Williams as the Joker, his appearance in the season 9 episode of SVU called Authority is the closest thing you'll get to. Williams plays a man who has a vendetta against authority figures because a doctor failed to save his pregnant wife. He tries to inspire people to rise up against their employers and the status quo. Williams' character defends himself in court after convincing a fast food manager to abuse an employee, and he even has a secret lair. He's over the top and reminiscent of a comic book villain, which doesn't really fit with the tone of SVU, but Williams never falters in his performance. He portrays a real man who's been corrupted and twisted by tragedy, making us believe in his character's motivations. The episode's arguments may be shallow, but Williams' performance is anything but. He fully commits to the role, and it's clear he's having fun with the character. Even though it's not quite the Joker, Williams brings his own unique energy to the role and makes it memorable.
Killer, but a little hurt. The Milgram experiment. You've done your homework.
Talking about memorable moments, Season 13 of the show certainly had its moments. The Season 13 Law & Order episode, Sheltered, featured Sebastian Stan, and it's one you can't forget. On one hand, it's about punishing a teenager responsible for multiple public shootings resulting in 4 deaths. On the other hand, the shooter was raised by a stranger who made him codependent and kept him isolated from society. It raises a moral conundrum, but McCoy's belief that the shooter had complete control over his mental faculties when he clearly didn't makes things murky. Despite the episode's flaws, Sebastian Stan's performance as a troubled teenager is a standout. He handles some intense emotions fearlessly, which is impressive considering he went on to become a Marvel star. Ty Burrell, who plays the man who corrupted the teenager, also delivers a great performance. Despite the murky waters the story treads, both actors make their roles memorable and give us a glimpse into why they've become so famous. With these famous actors, there were also other famous guests.
Stipulate the defendant shot 3 people at random.
Move on, Mr. McCoy.
Serena Williams may be one of the most recognizable athletes in the world, but you may have forgotten that she made a cameo appearance in Law & Order SVU. She appeared in the Season 5 episode called Brotherhood, which dealt with the issue of ritualistic sexual abuse at the hands of a college fraternity. Williams played Chloe Spears, a college basketball star who was one of many young women exploited by a fraternity brother. He filmed himself having sex with them and distributed the videos online. Although Williams' character wasn't on screen for very long, she played a crucial role in the plot by providing detectives with key information that helped them solve the case. While her role may have been small, it's still worth noting that a major athlete like Serena Williams made an appearance in SVU. Her presence in the episode serves as a reminder of the show's ability to attract big-name talent.
Over triple-double. Big Pin 82.
And there's not much you can disagree on when you have names like Martin Short doing cameos. It's hard to forget that Martin was in the SVU episode Pure because of how horrific his character was. The episode revolves around the unit trying to find a missing young woman while being hindered by a supposed psychic played by Short. He seems to know everything about the kidnapping and the detectives investigating. As the episode progresses, we realize that Short's character is actually a disturbed individual with twisted beliefs. He's truly disturbing in the role, and his motivations are revealed to be rooted in toxic male rhetoric. It's a reminder of how dangerous it is to feel entitled to something just because of your gender. While it's a dark and disturbing episode, it's worth watching for Short's chilling performance. He's able to tap into the character's vile beliefs with unsettling accuracy. It's not a comfortable episode to watch, but it's an important one. And these were a few of the stars you forgot starred in Law & Order SVU.
What's the worst thing that could have happened if Charlie Rodriguez had fired Mr. Capshaw?
We could end up homeless. The government could come and take me away.
And that scared you?
Yes.